The news is incredibly difficult to report. It's just about as bad as it can get. I don't remember ever giving a viewer warning at the top of a show in just having to report the news, but I have to give you one today. This is the most disturbing news I could offer. The stories are absolutely horrifying. We are seeing evil incarnate in the aftermath of the Hamas terrorist attack on Israel. And there's no way through it but to make sure people know what they're doing. There's just no way through it but to make sure you know what they're doing. Because as we go through the next days and weeks, what you're going to start to hear is that Israel needs to back off, that its response is disproportionate, that it's doing too much, that it's not taking enough care of innocent civilians, and you therefore must hear what was done to the Israelis. Israel does its best to not target civilians. That's its entire mission. When it goes over there, it wants to target terrorists, not civilians. It goes the extra mile every time to avoid hitting civilians. And this entire attack that Hamas just unleashed on Israel is about civilians. I mean, they have managed to get a few military-aged men as well, but they seem to be targeting intentionally the most innocent and vulnerable among us. From the Jerusalem Post editor, Avi Meir, a woman was found murdered with her fetus next to her, the baby still attached to its umbilical cord. A child who did not even get the chance to live. An elderly woman found in a pool of blood, her body riddled with bullet holes. They seem to enjoy killing the elderly women. There are multiple reports like that one. Entire families found burned to death inside their homes. And then there's this report. I'm sorry, again, I warn you, this is as brutal as it comes. Near the Israel-Gaza border, of 40 babies murdered in a kibbutz. It's like an area where Israelis live together. Forgive me for reporting the darkness, some of them even decapitated.
It's hard to even explain exactly just the mass casualties that happened right here. In fact, the Israeli military says they still don't have a clear number, but I'm talking to some of the soldiers and they say what they've witnessed as they've been walking through these different houses, these different communities, babies, their heads cut off. That's what they said. Gunned down, families completely gunned down in their beds. One of the commanders here said at least 40 babies were killed. Some of them their heads cut off. He said he's never seen acts of brutality like this. And as I said, many of the soldiers were called from reserve duties coming down here to the scene of a massacre, none of them knowing exactly what to expect and no one expecting that it could be something like this.
There are no words that can capture the evil that must exist in a person's heart to be capable of doing something like that. You know, on this show, I always try to keep it at a level where you can hear the news and you can still function in your day. You know, it's sort of one of the things we pride ourselves on, is just not getting too incredibly dark so that people can still function. I have to admit, it's been hard. I'm feeling it. I'm sure you're feeling it too in the wake of this news, which we can't ignore, which you can only fully appreciate if you actually do look at it, as the Israelis have been forced to. They're our closest ally in the Middle East. We can't ignore what's happening to them. Our interests are directly aligned with theirs for a whole bunch of really good reasons. As it stands now, more than 1,000 people have been killed in Israel that we know of. I'm sure that number is going to climb. Many, many more wounded. The videos we showed you yesterday and we'll show you today are incredibly difficult to watch. In one, terrorists are seen sneaking up on a car, shooting the people inside at point blank range, allowing the terrorists to gain access to a gated compound. There's absolutely no respect for human life. Another shows Hamas stalking homes, going door to door in a farming community near the Gaza border. Just 1,000 people called this area home, and 100 of them are now dead. Think of it, a tenth of the community wiped out in the blink of an eye. This attack happened around the same time as that music festival massacre we reported on yesterday that, according to Tablet magazine, left more than 260 people dead. Most of them vibrant, beautiful, young people just starting out in life. In the meantime, Hamas's actions have created a hell on earth for those in areas of Gaza, as Israel unleashes an all-out effort to, quote, obliterate Hamas terrorist capabilities. Reporting suggesting 765 people have been killed inside Gaza so far. Israel has urged civilians there to leave their homes immediately, but Hamas, at least in conflicts past, doesn't let the civilians leave. They want the civilians to be hurt. They have shut down all crossings, potentially setting the stage for a ground invasion. It will have to be. How else could Israel get its hostages back if they don't conduct a ground invasion? And then there are the hostages being held, and their estimates range from 100 to 150 being held captive by these terrorists who are now threatening to kill them and to release video of the executions on social media should the aerial attacks by Israel continue. And we believe some number of those hostages are Americans who had been in Israel when this attack was unleashed. Okay, let's talk candy. Goods Candies. They are a new sponsor and not your average chocolate shop. Nestled in a small town in rural Indiana, Goods Candies has been serving its community since the Great Depression. Goods Candies takes pride in its farmhouse-style, small batch production using only the finest premium ingredients. Trust me, when you bite into a Goods Candies creation, you will instantly taste the difference. This is a delicious candy. They have indulgent toffees, salted caramels, and all kinds of chocolates with unique cream centers like raspberry, maple, yum, mint, orange, to name just a few. Whatever your pleasure, it's there. Selecting your goodie bag is all part of the fun. They also do customized chocolate bars with your company logo on them or your family name or a message. Could be the perfect client gift or a holiday gift or hostess gift from you. It's unique and it's delicious, and it's a great way for your clients to think about you and your business, or your family and friends to think about you. For our viewers, they are offering a 20% discount when you use the promo code MK2023. While placing your order, the website is goodscandies.com, and their email address is goodscandies@goodscandies.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.